Will you stand with me for a moment? And I want to direct your attention to the Gospel according to St. Luke. And you have a portion of what we're going to be reading in your bulletin, but I would start with Luke, the 5th chapter, verse 5th chapter, verse 1. And I will be reading from the New Living Translation, the Gospel of St. Luke, chapter 5, verse 1. And it reads as follows. One day, as Jesus was preaching on the shore of the Sea of Galilee, great crowds pressed in on him to listen to the word of God. He noticed 2 empty boats at the water's edge, for the fishermen had left them and were washing their nets. Stepping into one of the boats, Jesus asked Simon, its owner, to push it out into the water. So he sat in the boat and taught the crowds from there. When he had finished speaking, he said to Simon, "Now go out where it is deeper and let down your nets to catch some fish." I will speak to you on the subject of let down your net. Let down your net. Say it with me. Let your net. Let down your net. You know, if your life has been anything like mine, you have no doubt observed that there are times in life when things just don't go right. Things just don't go right. And you make your very best effort, but things just don't go right. I know a lot of times I try to fix some things, amen. And sometimes I end up is worse off than when I started. Have you ever taken something apart and try to put it back together, and once you get it back together, you still got some extra parts laying around? You know? There are times in life when things just don't go right. And that doesn't just involve mechanical issues. Sometimes in our social life, you can work so very, very hard, and suddenly it all falls apart. It's so sad, and a lot of times in marriage councils where the couples has reached the point what they call unreconcilable differences. And although they had promised each other until death do us part, something went wrong. And they just can't seem to get it right. Things don't go right. I was reading this book by Norman Vincent Peale, and he talks about the power of positive thinking. And in that book, he shares that a lot of things go right because we have a positive power within us to make some things right. And on the flip side of that, a lot of things go wrong because we have such negative attitudes regarding things. In other words, some things don't go right because they start out wrong. You approach them with the wrong attitude. Sometimes you don't even feel like you can accomplish what you set out to do because you don't have that power of belief within yourself saying to you, yes, I can. Amen. Believing in yourself brings a power that can make things go right. Things don't go right for another reason that I want you to put in your mind, is that sometimes things that you are working on don't go right because of God. Yeah, you never say it again. sometimes some things that you put all your effort in and you work so hard to make right, it will not go right because of God. Now let me show you something. You see, God knows more about you than you know about yourself. And the stuff that you're working on to say that I want this to be right might not be right for you at that time. You got that? In other words, God will put some delays in your life because He's not going to give you what you think is right until He gets you right. Yes, sir. He put some delays in your life. Anybody ever had any delays? And God, what He's doing, He's not blocking your blessing. But what He's doing is that He's going to bless you to the point that you can see where your blessing came from. And He's going to let you know that the only way it's going to get right is going to get it right through me. It's going to get right through me. God will delay your blessing until you can see the source of your blessing. See where your blessings are coming from. You know, those Hebrew children, when they were released from bondage in Israel, they marched around in that desert for over 40 years on a trip that could have taken a couple of weeks. You know why? It's because they had the great blessing of the promised land right there waiting for them, but they couldn't get right themselves. So God had to march them around 40 years in order to get them right for the blessing that was already there for them. Some of you have been marching a long time. Amen. Praise God. You've been going in circles. And God is just sending you round and round and round until He can look at you. Now you're ready. Now you're ready to enter into your promised land. So sometimes I wonder why things don't go right. But I do want to inform you of this. When you are wondering why you can't get it right, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And here's what you need to do. Learn the lesson in between the desert and the promised land. In other words, God had to teach them some things before they got to where they were going. And God, He will put these delays in your life in order for you to learn some lessons in the desert. You see, because some people, you are here in church today because you've been to the desert already. You've already had to go through some stuff to get to God's house. A lot of people just don't walk into God's house. No. Your desert sent you into God's house. You had to go through some stuff. You see, a lot of people don't come to church until they get out of the hospital. Some people don't come to church until they get out of jail. Some people don't come to the church until that husband walk away and leave you with all those children by yourself. And then you come to the church wanting to know, can I get it right? What can I do now to get things right? Sometimes your desert send you to church. Now when we take a look at this here lesson today, we see that Jesus has been preaching to a crowd of people. But in the midst of Him preaching to those people out around the Sea of Galilee, something happens. Now let's take a moment to consider what was going on. There had been some fishermen out there, and they had been fishing all night long, the Bible says, and they had not caught a single thing after fishing all night long. Verse 5, Master, Simon replied, we worked all night long. We worked hard all night long. And we didn't catch a thing. We've been working hard all night long. And Jesus is preaching the word. And Jesus noticed their boats, and he goes over there, and Peter tells him we've been working all night. And we haven't caught a thing, have you? Have you been working all your life and you haven't caught up with it yet? Come on now. Sometimes you work so hard and you don't catch a single thing. Praise God. Sometimes I work hard on a sermon and I wonder, did anybody hear me that Sunday? Did anybody hear anything I had to say? Amen. You don't catch a thing. Now, one of the things that we want to kind of consider is why they wasn't catching any fish. What was going on? And in analyzing that, we might come to the conclusions as to what's going on in your life and why you're coming up empty. See, the first thing that I want to bring to your attention about this situation is that they seem to have had the right equipment for catching fish. The Bible says that they had 2 boats. Now you only need 1 boat to catch a fish, amen. Those of you who know what I'm talking about, like Vic over there, you know you gotta get a boat sometimes to get out to where the fish are. And you need sometimes a big boat. And you need to be able to get out to where the fish are. Now, keep in mind that we're not just talking about boats. We're talking about something else. You see, because some of you have a whole lot of degrees. Some of you have master's degrees and you have 2 degrees, amen. 2 boats, amen. But you're not catching any fish, amen. Some of you got 2 jobs. Praise God. And you're still broke, amen. You got more money when you cash both of those checks, but then they're gone to Mr. Edison. They're gone to car payments, the banks, and all of that. You're still broke. You're not catching anything with your resources, and you're wondering, I've been working all week long hard. That freeway, amen. Sitting on, sometime on that freeway is a job by itself, isn't it? Praise God. You put in more time on that freeway than you put in on your job. And you get paid for being on that freeway, you would have some extra money with you. And then you get to work and you work so hard. But every month you seem not to have gotten ahead. Seem you can't save anything. And then, so you got 2 boats. And then they have what they call good nets. Amen. You know, you need a net. We use a lot of poles, but back then they used nets. And they had some good nets. I remember when I was in Ghana a few months ago, we went to a village and they had this lake, a beautiful lake. And there were some kids, and they had this skillful ability to whirl this net around. They take a net and like it's a total circle, and then they throw it out in the water and it lands. And then they catch fish. They catch fish. But I'm going to tell you something about those fish in a few minutes. But if you got a good net, and if you got a good boat, and then if you have some good people on the boat who have the skills to catch fish, why aren't you catching any fish? Why? You go to work, you got good talents. You got a good job, but you're not getting ahead. Now, another thing that they had is that they had a good lake. Galilee is a good lake for fishing. The daughters and I were in Israel. We had traveled from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, down to the Dead Sea. Then we went up to the path to the city of Nazareth. And when you get to Nazareth, You're at the foot of a mountain, and at the foot of that mountain is the Sea of Galilee. And people were being baptized right there in the sea, but they had this wonderful restaurant, and we went in there and we had a meal, and on the menu is called Peter's Fish. This is where they were fishing at, right there at the Sea of Galilee. And they honor that today at that restaurant with Peter's Fish. So there were fish in the lake, and Peter had been fishing all night, but he had not caught any fish. Then perhaps there's something else we need to consider. You know, when I talk to you about those kids fishing in Ghana, they were catching fish, but they were small fish. We even came in and we took a look at them. And it looked like you need a couple of hands to even make a big fish that we eat today. See, maybe they were fishing in shallow water. Have you ever walked by a lake and you can just see the small fish right there? Some fish don't hang out in shallow water. Are you with me? See, sometimes you can be fishing in the wrong location, and as a result of that, you're not going to catch any fish. And you need to move the boat. You need to do something because you're in the wrong location. Praise God. You get to change locations. Because you got the right boat, you got the right equipment, you got the right bait, and you are a skilled fisherman, but you're in the wrong locations. Anybody ever found yourself in the wrong location, amen? And you can't get anything going because your location, you're fishing in shallow waters. And even if you catch anything, it's not going to be of any quality because you're in the wrong location. Now, there's another reason why they were not catching any fish. Let's go back to God. You know, sometimes you can have the right boat, the right equipment, and then you can be in the right location, but guess what? God will tell the fish not to show up where you are at that time. Oh, you missed that one, didn't you? See, fish listen to God, and if you don't believe that, go read the book of Jonah and see that fish show up at the right time in the right place to get old Jonah before he drowned. God don't just have control over your mind, he has control over everything that he has created. And maybe he got you in the right position, but he's not going to send his fish over there right now because he's trying to teach you a lesson. He got you over here, and he got his fish all the way over here. It's not time for you to catch any fish right now. So you know what you're going to do? You're going to work hard all night over there, but the fish are not coming your way. And even if you move your boat from here to there, the fish is going to go there. So that you all are not in the same place at the same time. So you're going to be throwing your net, but the fish are going to know where your nets are coming down, and they're not going to get caught up in your net. Oh, I wish I had a praying house. Anybody listening to me? God can speak to anything, take control. God will not arrange for your blessings to come your way until he has directed you. He won't direct the fish your way. See, some blessings are being directed away from you until God gets ready for you and your blessing to come together at the same time. Praise him. Now, after all this is going on, Jesus is preaching to the people, and they're listening to the message. He gets He gets into the boat. The Bible says that in verse 3, Jesus steps into one of the boats. Ah, praise God. Maybe you haven't been catching anything because Jesus wasn't in the boat. Amen. Oh, come on now. You've been doing everything right all your life, but you've been doing it on your own, and you never really put Jesus in your... I know you come to church, you praise God, you say, but is Jesus in the boat? Ask somebody, is Jesus in the boat? And I don't care how hard you work at something, you're not going to get right, and your life is not going to get right until Jesus gets in the boat. You need Jesus in the boat, amen. Jesus in the boat means that grace is in the boat. You need a little grace in your life. Anybody need a little grace? You need a little mercy in your life. When Jesus gets in, he brings grace and mercy into your situation, and your life starts turning around. Things start changing. Because you have someone in the boat who can turn your situation upside down. Praise him, amen. The Bible tells me that one day Jesus got in the boat and the disciples was going across the lake and a storm came up. But since Jesus was in the boat, they got scared and trembling. Then they woke Jesus up and Jesus said, peace, peace, be still right now. We need him in Florida right now. Tell peace, Hurricane Dorian, be still. Jesus can speak to your situations and turn your situations around. Bring him into your life. Somebody need him in his life right now. Bring him into your life, and you find that you don't have to work so hard all night for nothing when you got Jesus in your life. Because Jesus will stop you from working and bless you without a job. Amen. Jesus will bring blessings into your life just to let you know that he is Jesus and that he can do it. He can bless you without you. He don't need your help to bring a blessing into your life. Anybody been blessed by God? Have he just stopped by one day and gave you a blessing? Just keep on serving him. And he knows about your particular situation, and your blessing is on the way. I know you can't make it happen on your own, and the only reason that it's not happening is to teach you that you can't do it on your own. You need God on the boat. You need him. You need him in your boat. And Jesus will tell all that stuff to come your way that's not right. Peace. Be still. They woke up, wait a minute, the wind listened to him. Amen. The Bible says that he sat in the boat and then he continued to teach the people. Now there was a crowd of people and he began to teach them. And sometimes, you know, when you're teaching people, you're somebody in this crowd right now is going to become a great disciple, and you're going to do great things in the kingdom for the Lord. Amen. So God will put you in the crowd in order to let you know that he knows that you're there, and he's going to send you the right message at the right time so that he can use you in the kingdom. See, there are some great theologians out there right now, great disciples. There are some people, he's going to take your education of religion to a new height. He's going to teach you all about Christology, who Christ is. He's going to teach you about justification, how to be made right by God. He's going to teach you about eschatology, what is coming in the future. Sanctification, the righteousness of God. Anthropology, the study of yourself. Because there are some things God got to teach you about you. Somebody is ready to take it to a new level. And God, he knows who you are. Somebody. And then I have to say this. There are some in the crowd who are just Pharisees. Amen. And they show up just to see what they can criticize. Amen. They'll go back and talk about Jesus. Oh, look at him. He's hanging out with them wine nibblers. Amen. They're Pharisees. They're Pharisees in your life. Amen. That's why you got to be careful. You can't tell everybody everything. Amen. I see Facebook. I have people want to become my friend. And I don't know how mean anybody in the heart. But you know, I already got enough friends, amen, that I'm going to... I mean, some people I'm just going to tell some things. And some people I'm not going to tell everything. Amen. You got to know when to hold it. Amen. I say this all it just came to mind. I'm going to say it all due respect. Deacon Phillips, he came over to my house last night and he bought me some watermelons. Amen. He told me one of them on the inside. I can't wait. I put them in the refrigerator. I told him this morning, I can't wait home to get home. And I'll be a little cold. I always like my watermelon a little cold, you know. So we'll go home, I'm going to cut them. And we were sitting in the hallway talking, and he gave me my watermelon. He gave me two, one from Cal Poly and another one. He told me this one is going to be a little orange on the inside. I'm waiting to see that. Amen. And then we began to talk a little bit, just to change it. Then he said that he had gotten up because he had been working on a project and he couldn't get to sleep. He just wanted to do something, so he had gone out. But before he left, I said, "What is your project?" He said, "I can't tell you." There are some things you just can't tell right now, amen. You gotta wait until it's developed to a point. And then some people will steal what you're working on and say that it's their project and you put all your work in it. So you gotta hold it sometime, amen. And I respect him for that because I'm writing a couple of books and people be asking me, "Well, what's your book is all about?" I'm not going to explain to you what my book is all about because I did that one time and next thing I know, the author of the book is the one that I told about the book, amen. So you can't tell everybody. There are Pharisees around, amen. And boy, they can spy on you. And they can lie on you. But Jesus knew that the crowd, he said, "Let the wheat and the tares, let them all grow together." So he knew who he was talking to when he was sitting in that boat. But he wasn't just telling them who they could become and just correcting them because of who they were. But Jesus was also teaching them about himself. You know, we need to know more about the Lord. I can see him now saying, "I am the truth and the life. I am the word that became flesh. I am the free gift of eternal life. I am the good shepherd who will lay down his life for his sheep." He was teaching them all about himself. Teaching them what the scripture has said about him. "The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, and it has anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor, set people free." He was teaching them about himself. And then, as we read on, watch this, listen to verse 4. When he had finished speaking, he said to Simon, "Now go out where it is," what? You all been in shallow water. And let me tell you right now, some of you have some good plans about some stuff you want to do. Go out to where it's deeper, amen. Go out and get out of the shallow water. And once you get out of the shallow water, and then let your nets down. I come by here to tell you today to let your net down, amen. But get yourself out of shallow water. Oh, I wish I had a prayer. Let me elaborate on that. You know, one of the things that happened during our revival, and I don't have this here verbatim, but Chuck Singham, he was talking about being at a Baptist meeting. A Baptist meeting. And while he was there, they had all this stuff that's going on. that's going on in our world. We got 1 million of our people, young people, in jails. We got drugs everywhere. We got violence. We got all this stuff. But you know what was the big issue on the table? Who was going to be the president of what? Say it loud. In other words, in a big convention, the Baptist convention, they have all these things going on in our life and in the life of people, divorces, children on drugs. But the biggest issue that they would have was they would fight over who was going to be the president of decorating tables. Over and I've been in conventions like that. Matter of fact, that's why I stopped going. You know why? Because they're spending too much time in shallow waters. We've got to move out into the deep and take the church so that it can reach out and meet the needs of people. And in our church meetings, don't be coming to me about what color the trash can should be. I don't care what color the trash can is. Don't be talking all the time about who's the president of this community or what we're going to do. But what can we do to feed our community? What can we do to help kids educate themselves? What can we do to bring serious work of the church into the life of the people? What can we do to set up drug centers? What can we do to help people find jobs? What can we do to make the church real in the lives of the people? Get out of shallow water. What can we do? And I'm going to say this here. You all might have to excuse me, but I'm going to say it anyway. Because Mama said it. You know what, Mama? And you young girls around here, let me tell you something. Mama used to tell my sisters, listen, her daughters, she said to them that a man will not buy the cow if the milk is free. That's straight from Mom. Now, you all don't understand that. He's not going to marry you as long as he can jump in the bed with you anytime he gets ready. Stop talking about stuff that's irrelevant. And let's deal with the real. Amen? Listen, Jesus taught them what was real. And the gospel should be real. Moving out into deep waters and deal with some real stuff that's going on in our lives, in our community, with our young girls and the young men not ready to be daddies. Amen. Pants hanging all down. I was on the boat, on the corner of the cruise, and we was going down to Mexico. And everybody, and here this guy, amen, skin color just like mine, embarrassing me on that ship with all those people from all over the world. I wanted to throw him overboard. I was embarrassed. I was literally embarrassed. It was a shame. Amen. And everybody was having a wonderful time. And he was the only one on the boat. I'll leave that to God. I'm supposed to be preaching. Here I am getting mad up here. Listen, I want you to move to it. When Jesus had finished speaking, he told them to let your nets down. Amen. And then he gave them some instructions. Let your net down and go into deeper waters. You see what Jesus was doing? That Jesus had already spoke to the fish. Now it was time to get them to the meeting place. In other words, Jesus had already speaking to your blessing. And here's why he's going to take them. He said that he had finished speaking. You know what had happened? Those fishermen had And when you hear the word of the Lord, that word will get you ready for your blessing. Amen. That word will get you ready for your blessing. He had finished speaking. The sermon was over. The teaching was over. And now you're ready to receive. Since you have received the spiritual world, watch this. You have received the spiritual blessing. Now it's ready for your physical blessing. And some of you do it backwards. You want your physical blessing before you receive any spiritual blessing. In other words, practice getting right with God, and God will have your blessing waiting on you. Somebody, God got a blessing waiting on you right now. Watch this. When Jesus is on board, there's something that we need to do. Here's what I want you to understand. Some of you've been in church a long time, and you had Jesus on board, right? You know the word of God, you talk to God, and Jesus is on board, he's in your life. But things still not going right. Here's something that you cannot mix in this text. There's some missing need, something need that you need to do, even when you are a good Christian. Watch this. Peter, verse 5, Master, Simon replied, we worked hard all last night and didn't catch a thing. Listen to this. But, somebody say that. If you say so. Did you get it? Did you get it? If you get it, now you're ready now. Because here's what you need to do. Even when Jesus is on board and he has given you the word and you have heard the word, you need to fix it like this. If you say so, I'll let the next down. The King James Version, he put it like this. It says, nevertheless, at thy word, I will let the net down. Oh, I wish y'all would wake up for a minute. Lean over a little bit so y'all can see your faces over there. He says, at thy word. That's what Peter said. I've been working all night, and I'm tired. Some of you work 8 hours, and you can't even make it home. Amen. They've been working all night from can't see in the morning, can't see at night. They saw the sun go up and come down. They've been all night. But guess what? At your word. Tell somebody, say, at your word. Amen. At your word, Lord, I'll let my net down. I'll let it down at your word. You see, Peter was tapping into the greatest principle in the universe, because at the word of God, the world was created. God said, let there be, and everything came into existence. At God's word, the heavens were made. At God's word, the light appeared. He said, let there be light, and out of darkness came light. At thy word, the waters separated themselves from the water. At thy word, the dry land appeared. At thy word, the sun and the moon came up. Jesus. I've been working hard on my own, but now I'm not working anymore. I'm just going to follow your word and watch the blessings come my way. Praise your holy name. God bless you. Amen.